Everyone, it's Ken Scott, Senior U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentryWaiverServices.com, and we resolve all of your USA border crossing issues. Well, day after Labor Day, and we had a wonderful Labor Day. It was filled with great fun, pleasure, and what's so funny?
You just work.
It's full of great fun and pleasure. Anyway, this administrator back there, would you care to show your hand? Okay, good. So they see the hand. You literally showed them the hand.
Yeah, show the hand.
So anyway, guys, today's video is going to be on, can you travel to the US with a criminal record? Now, this video is tied into a trick the discount waiver companies do. A certain discount waiver company, I won't mention its name, they have said that you need a US entry waiver for every criminal offense. Let me say it again. They're saying that you need a US entry waiver for every criminal offense. So, like, even you, because you stole the Federation Starship Enterprise, you need a waiver for being a Starship thief and taking a ship from here to the Romulan sector. How do you plead? Well, anyway, so, but in all seriousness, guys, only certain offenses require a U.S. entry waiver. We're not talking immigration. For the moment, let's skip immigration. But regarding criminal offenses, only certain offenses, oh, I see your elbow. Only certain offenses require a U.S. entry waiver. Some offenses can be cleared for life. This also ties into September letter, which apparently we're the only organization in Canada that knows how to get them for with Discovery. September letter, basically, it's the lifetime clearance where your offense is deemed to not need a U.S. entry waiver. And we're not talking about something like DUI or whatever. We're talking about the more complex stuff. We're not going to go into a list of what qualifies for that because, again, discount waiver companies would do whatever it takes to keep their lights on. And sorry, we can't help them with this. But at the risk of sounding like a parrot, again, only certain offenses require a U.S. entry waiver. Some do, some do not. Now, the discount waiver companies, they don't really know. So what they'll try to do is sell you on a waiver, say, oh, you need a waiver. Your conviction is for taking in too much air, breathing too much. Oh, you need a waiver. Oh, you took 10 steps down the street instead of 8. Oh, you need a waiver. So basically anything. Why does this always happen when I'm on videos? Every time I do a video, this happens. You got so many people. Yes. Yes, we did. Client asked him to receive fingerprints yet.
We're doing a video.
Anyway, so getting back to what I was saying, again, certain offenses only require a U.S. entry waiver. I find that at times we have to repeat things because some of you guys don't get it. I don't know why, but at the risk of sounding like a parrot, it is what it is. Again, certain offenses require a waiver. Some do, some do not. The offenses that do not require a waiver, you do not need a waiver to enter USA. So it ties into the question of, can you travel to the USA with a criminal record? Yes. If your criminal record is one that does not require a U.S. entry waiver, you're fine. If your criminal record, let's just say trafficking, you need a waiver for the most part. So if your offense is trafficking, and you got this is your waiver. You know what? I'm gonna make it simple. All right, guys. This is your waiver. Bit backwards. So what's going to happen is when you pull up to the border, it's actually going to be 2 sheets, more than likely. Unless you also have a deportation, then it's 3. So you take your waiver, you do like this, fold it up, put it in your passport.
Well, they know what it means if you put it in your passport.
Sometimes we have to. So put it in your passport. This is your passport. See, waivers in your passport. So you pull up to the booth, you put this in the officer's hand, say, here. Oh. You guys say, so he said, oh, what's this? What's my US waiver? So he opens it. Oh, what do you need a waiver for, sir? Well, I have a conviction for drug trafficking. Oh, okay. He may send you inside, he may not. So in that sense, it still answers the question of, can you travel to the US with a criminal record? Because you can travel to the US with an appropriate I-192 non-immigrant waiver if that's your intent to be used into the country. So can you travel to the US with a criminal record? Yes, you can. If you have a relevant waiver, if you have a waiver for a relevant criminal offense, whether it's conviction or charge. Now, the way the charge part works is this. Let's say if you were charged with, what do we say we charged with? Charged with bank robbery, but it was dismissed, then that's fine. Then technically they can't use they can't use the charge by itself against you. But what the officer can do, he can see that charge and use it to go fishing and say to you, say, hey, so what happened with the charge? Explain it. And you say, well, I was leaving Abbey, driving back to Surrey. I got stopped by the Surrey RCMP and now Surrey Police Services. And he's asking me, why am I speeding? So I explained to him that I robbed the Bank of Montreal in Abbey, but I was not caught by the Abbotsford police. So you're telling this to the officer, and I'm the officer. I said, wait a minute. What did you tell the Surrey RCMP or Surrey Police? Oh, I told them that I robbed the Bank of Montreal in Abbotsford, but I was never caught. Oh, so you robbed the bank? You did rob the bank. Well, yeah, but I was never caught for it. Okay, no problem. How much money did you get? It's a slow day. I got $800. A slow day. Okay, no problem. Well, how'd you rob it? Well, I went in there with the mask and I had the gun, but the police could not prove that it was me in the mask. They could not prove the gun was mine. Well, what'd you do with the gun, sir? Oh, the gun, I buried it in my buddy's backyard. Okay. Guys, I just talked myself into needing a waiver because the way the code is also written, I wonder who's outside that door. The way the code is written, now that's bugging me. That's all right. The way the code is written, they go by whatever relevant convictions you have and whatever you voluntarily admit to. You have to admit to the elements of the offense, or more so, CBP has to get you to admit to the elements of committing the actual offense / crime, then that makes you inadmissible. So it still ties into the question of, can you travel to the US with a criminal record? And the question is, well, you answer the question. Can you travel to the USA with a criminal record?
Depends on the conviction.
Oh, there we go. Straight from the administrator. It depends on the conviction. Some convictions you can, some you cannot. And sorry, guys, we have to kind of explain it this kind of way because some people still just won't fully get it. Some people don't know the difference between a waiver and a pardon. We did a YouTube video or radio show episode yesterday about that, but we know some people still won't get it. Canadian pardon is issued by the Canadian government. The U.S. waiver is issued by the U.S. government, by way of Homeland Security, by way of the ARO, which is part of U.S. Customs. So that's how you answer that. But finally, so at the risk of sounding like a parrot again for the fifth time or so, can you travel to the U.S. with a criminal record? Yes. The answer is yes and no. Yes.
It depends.
No, thank you. The answer is it depends. Yes, if you have an offense that deems you admissible, you have a valid waiver, then yes. But then the answer is no. If you have a conviction where you require a waiver, you do not have a waiver in your possession, then the answer is no. So just like the administrator just said, the best answer to this question is it depends on the circumstances. Sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot. This is why you guys got to be aware of when you use Batman's pardons and waivers, who charges $5.95, and you get the same thing as a happy. What was it?
sensitive composer. Press 1 repeatedly.
What I call it.
Dependent on someone to press
Sit.
2 for you. If you're emotional.
Now everyone's gonna know the ringtone they use. So it's just like, you know, if you get a McDonald's Happy Meal, you can't get a Happy Meal and then complain about the food quality of service. So why'd you buy that Happy Meal in the first place? I mean, it's one thing if you went to what's the steakhouse? Used to be in New West.
Oh.
What's this?
Say, I don't know, the cake.
Yeah, the cake. Yeah,
There,
that's
or
right, the cake. They used to have one. I think there's one in Langley as well.
Or if you're gonna get a hamburger at McDonald's, well, you know the difference there, you know, cheaper, more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Quality.
It's like, are you buying a T-bone steak with lobster, or are you buying a Happy Meal?
Or you getting, I don't know, a milk or something, or I don't know, called Cristal.
Cristal, yeah. What do you know about Cristal?
I know a lot of things, that's why I'm in this room.
Oh, it's a bit cheeky.
All right, Mr. Poof, anything else you want to say?
Anyway, guys, so it's Ken Scott, Senior, U.S. Immigration Law Intelligence Analyst with www.usentry-waiver-services.com, and with 888-908-3841 or 604-562-8140. And in the words, you just took away. Now, thank you, took my thunder.
That's fine. See
Live
you
long
next week.
and prosper. Why you should be denied entry to that country. So, if you're denied entry to the United States for criminality, you know, maybe, you know, had a bar fight, or maybe you were accused of, you know, I don't know, it's okay. You didn't do it. This is what you want to do. You may need a U.S. entry waiver. You may, or you may not. If you do, you want to use sendittoken.com. Send it to ken.com. And once you use sendittoken.com, we can get you cleared to enter the United States. Does not matter what your conviction is, whether it's for or
Nothing is
doesn't matter.
impossible.
Why? Because we're there. You need us.
Send it to Ken.